you'll hear there's no such thing as election fraud, or it's so rare that it's not a concern. That's like saying hijackings are rare on airplanes, so let's just get rid of TSA and let whoever wants to get on an airplane. No, what a foolish idea. I mean, because the consequences are so staggering when that happens, right? Well, it's the same thing with election integrity. Every vote matters, and we see every year elections that come down to a single vote. My name is Frank LaRose. I serve my fellow Ohioans as their Secretary of State. One of the things I found early on is that the law says the Secretary shall investigate and enforce laws related to election integrity. It said that the Secretary shall investigate fraud or irregularities in elections. Well, looked around the office, we didn't have any investigators. In fact, there never had been in the history of this office, from what we can tell. We're not the police force. That's not our responsibility. We're not the prosecutor's office or the attorney general's office, but the law says I have a responsibility to investigate this. So prior to our election integrity unit, a report would come in. Maybe somebody would come to the counter at a county board of elections and say, I saw somebody forging signatures on a petition. Maybe somebody would call our office with a tip. So what we did is create an election integrity unit so that I can fulfill the task that's actually laid out for me in the law and conduct proper investigations. But here's the bottom line. If a law is not enforced, it's not a law. It's just a suggestion, right? And so if people think that they can just brazenly violate election law and not face any consequences for doing it, that's a problem. And people know now in Ohio, based on my team's leadership, that if you break the law related to elections, that you're going to face consequences for it. And you can't allow fraudulent votes to happen because it can turn the tide of a very close election, but it also creates public trust issues. When people are aware that crime is happening and not being enforced, then they become less trustworthy of the process. That's why other states should build something like what we've had with the Election Integrity Division, competent law enforcement personnel that can dig into the information and make sure that bad guys face justice. We want to be the joyful warrior because we're talking about the cause of human freedom, the greatest cause in all of history, the cause of freedom and prosperity. That's what motivates me every day, and I think that's why Ohio's turning more red.